Wake up, it's the Coach Brickey Sports Show with the team that can give you what you know, what you need and what you want on the court. For football, the basketball, and every other sport. With Troy and DL and Dr. Carl Brinkley and Paul and the Coach Robert Brickey. It's time, get your coffee and get ready for the flow. Get ready for the Coach Brickey Sports Show. And get ready for the flow. And get ready for the flow.
We're back for the Coach Brickey Sports Show this morning. We're having a time, man, I'm telling you. So, good morning, everybody. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and had two services. I had the opportunity to go over to Mount Zion African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church, where the pastor is the Reverend Dr. CARLTON Brown, and I had a great time over there. City Council member Brenda McNair, also Reverend McNair, brought a dynamic message. And so he told me this morning, but he said, man, you know, I'm going to praise him. I said, man, you know, Caleb was there. I mean, I could let Caleb praise him by himself. You know, I had to get with it, man. Come on.
But it's good to see men praising the Lord. That's always a good thing. Usually the women are the praisers, but when they see a man standing up and doing this thing,
I ain't ashamed of the
that's
gospel
always
now.
good. You can't not the
because he woke me up this morning.
There you go.
Because he woke me up this morning.
Don't stop.
Because he woke me up.
Ho. Yes, sir. That's a good thing. Yes, sir. But it was good that you were in the house, man. Give you a big shout out for your presence, and Brenda McNair called you a mentor. So I'm glad that you were there to celebrate and support her. But your presence was really, really appreciated yesterday.
Appreciate it, man.
So thanks for showing up.
I know y'all had all that pigtails and oxtails and barbecue and all the other stuff. I had to leave, but man, they were throwing down over there. But anyway, though, good morning to Coach and Dia. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, John.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
So, I hope you guys had a great time yesterday as well.
Don't sound like we had as good time as you did. But, but we had a good time nonetheless.
Hey. When they're wrong, what?
That's good.
Anyway, so interesting though, Coach. I'm handing off to you. Let's talk some NBA first, I guess, right?
Man, I tell you, here's the problem with the timing of what's happening right now. So
okay,
we're getting to the stage where we're starting to run out of games every day.
I know.
Now, we got it for the next few days, but then we're going to start going to every other day. And then the problem has been some of the losses have been blowout losses.
Yeah.
So it hasn't even been fun to watch.
Right.
So that's just a sidebar, but otherwise, some really good basketball. You know, we had to check on Coach Brinkley and Pastor Brinkley this morning. The Lakers went down, and you know, listen, they did the best they could. They just ran up against the wrong team at the wrong time.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, but look, Coach. Now, some of this stuff, like, Rev is my friend. But he not being realistic about some of this, okay? You got a Volkswagen Jetta trying to outrun a Maserati. I mean, come on, you know, look.
Right.
Why should you be disappointed in the outcome of that? Because, you know, I'm just saying, look, and I don't mind blowouts if I'm on the winning side. Matter of fact, I like watching them.
I think they knew that was coming, though. I mean, everybody knew that was. Come on, Coach.
In my opinion, I thought they did a great job to win the first round of series.
Yeah, they did.
Get to this point.
They did.
And then, you know, you run into the defending champions. They're probably the youngest team in the league. So they're deep and they're experienced. And you run into them at the time when you're down. You just got one of your starters back and you're down an all-star.
Yeah.
So, you know, you run into a buzzsaw almost unprepared. So,
right.
You know, it's not that I feel bad for the Lakers, but I can't I can't be upset that they lost. They just
Right.
they weren't in position to win right now.
They ran into a buzzsaw, man. The odds were against them. So
DL?
Yeah. But hey, that's I was teasing Coach Pastor Brickey before the show started about timing.
yeah.
This shows how injuries impact winning.
Yes. Absolutely.
So sometimes you can be prepared, and if you're down one guy at the wrong time, it's just unfortunate.
What happened when the Lakers?
Yeah, I don't think the Lakers. Hold on a sec, George. The Lakers were not going to beat OKC with Luka, their best player available, and without him, they were doomed. I don't know. And the only reason they beat Houston, Coach Brickey, is because Durant
didn't
I don't
play.
think Durant
right.
played but one game.
Yeah.
So the Lakers really have to look at this. Like LeBron's 41 going on 4. What's the end game here? He's going to put butts in the arena because it is Hollywood. But what's the trajectory of your on-the-court product? Because you're hitting these luxury tax. Because in NBA, you can go over the salary cap, but it's going to cost you in the end, ex-Golden State. So they have to think about the end game with LeBron. And then LeBron wants a farewell tour. You know how Dr. J went out. Larry Bird didn't get one, and Magic didn't get one, and Jordan got one. LeBron wants a farewell tour, so he has to announce before the beginning of the season because he has an ego. So that's going to be interesting to see what LeBron does.
I don't think that Jordan got one. I mean, did Jordan announce he was going to retire before the season
They
ended?
did a farewell tour at the All-Star game. They did. I remember Mariah Carey, they sung a song. They knew he was retiring. He was already written because he was part-time GM. So he was going out.
When he was with the Wizards?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was different. He just came back so he could make some money for the people with COVID thing, man. That's what that was. I got you.
Yeah, but nobody got it like Dr. J because that was my when he retired in '87. I was a senior in high school, so I vividly remember that. Boston, I saw that Larry Bird the preseason, and so Red Auerbach gave him something. Every arena that Dr. J went to, but that was for his body of work. The ABA and the NBA helped bringing it back. He was really liked. It's different. Dr. J was liked by opposing fans.
Right.
Now, if LeBron does a tour, now he gonna get a lot of accolades. I mean, he's a polarizing guy, but he's a great player and he's done it for a long time. So I'm sure he's gonna pack out arenas if he makes a farewell tour.
Yeah, he's the king of flop. Let me see what else is there. If you touch him, he falls down.
Pastor Brown.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Brown.
Yes, sir.
LeBron catches a lot of heat. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not. He's not going to be like in Memphis because you didn't hear the comments he said about Memphis on the golf course? They accuse him. He didn't do this. They accuse him of doing the super teams. He's not getting – now, a basketball player, he was better than Dr. J, and I'm a big Dr. J fan, but he's not getting the accolades. That's not happening.
No, not like Dr. J, but again, he is a great player. Yeah. And so, like you said, very polarizing. So you either like him or you don't like him. But he has done a lot for the game.
Yes, definitely he has.
Yeah.
This brings up a good question. So when KD, Steph, LeBron, the old heads who carried the torch to this point, when they're gone, who picks it up? Or are there capable hands to pass it to?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Well, I'll go and then I'll yield to Pastor Brown and Troy. When players are complaining about playing back-to-backs and wanting to reduce the games to 62 and they travel first class, I don't get it. I want somebody that has it in them like Jordan, Malone, and John Stockton. Jordan wanted to play every night, and he wanted to take it to you. He wanted to destroy you. And I don't see that no more. And the owners are not going to go for it.
Right.
They build these arenas to be used to make money off of, and the local population need folks to be in these arenas. So it's not going anything but 82.
Yeah, I think a guy like Anthony Edwards, he's got the Michael Jordan demeanor. I mean, he's got that killer instinct, and he's got the flair and the flamboyance. So I look for somebody like him to kind of rise. Of course, Wemby doesn't like to lose, and he's going to do anything he can to win. We're going to get back talk about last night with that anyway. But and Shea Gilchrist-Alexander, SGA. I mean, these guys are very capable, and so I don't know. We get in problems when we start comparing generational players, right? And one generation, that's why we have this big problem with LeBron versus Jordan. These guys who are coming up, I think they are great players in their own right, and they'll carry the game. I think they'll carry NBA very well.
I don't know,
Okay,
Coach.
brings up another question.
I'll leave it up to you.
The names you name are all foreign-born players.
Former what?
So is that all foreign-born players? They come from another country.
Oh yeah. That's true.
So does that factor in at all?
Well, it doesn't matter because they're the ones who are the draws right now. So I mean,
Right.
we can't change that. I think, and the foreign players are hungrier for the game than our local guys. Our guys, American-born players, have a lot of options, and they're not as right now. They don't have the kind of urgency in their spirit like the foreign-born players. But I believe it's a cycle. I think it's going to start coming back where our young players are going to start really, really getting good. Like, Boozer and some of those guys coming up, hopefully they'll rise to the top. So we'll see.
All right, so let's talk about the Spurs game from last night. I'm telling you what, I don't like many guys like I like Wembanyama. I love that kid. I love his demeanor. I don't usually listen to athlete interviews. I listen to what he has to say.
Yeah.
I think he's very very mature for a guy his age.
Yeah.
And I think he handles things in the right way. So he could easily be the face of the league, in my opinion. But
yeah.
And you don't think of him as a guy that's going to get a flagrant 2 foul and get ejected from a game. So anybody's thoughts on what happened last night?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Coach, he doesn't weigh enough to be doing that. So we don't want nobody to run up on him. And I just think he got caught up in the moment. He's not that type of player, and he realized because when he was on the bench, they were reviewing it. Harrison Barnes, North Carolina, not native, but player, told him, "I'm ejected." Yeah, Harrison said, "Yeah, you are ejected." And I'm going to look for his interview clips. I know he realized he let his team down. He didn't do it on purpose, but he's going to have to now. He has to learn control your emotions. But here's what San Antonio needs to do. Michael Jordan had Oakley early in his career. He needs an enforcer on that team. We don't want Wemby fighting anybody. So they need to find him somebody in the league that's going to get in somebody else's face to protect the product. And because really Jordan didn't have it once Oakley left because now he had some people that would foul hard for him. But Dennis was just in there to rebound, and that was it. But he didn't have an Oakley intimidating player once Oakley left. So we need protection for Wemby. But the game is getting good. Friday night, Eddie Brothers, if I'm saying his name right, Coach Brickey, him and the coach for the Minnesota got into it. I ain't never seen a referee bark back and walk towards a coach. That was very that was very funny. I've seen it in baseball. Earl Weaver for the Orioles, the referees, they get in each other's place, the managers, but not in basketball. But that's the most intriguing series we got right now because New York swept New York swept Philly. And then what happened to the Lakers, and I guess we'll talk about the Cavaliers later on. But this series is tied up. I'm still going to give the edge to San Antonio because the best player is Wemby, and he's just going to channel his frustrations and realize I don't want to cost my team the series, so I need to keep my composure.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Wemby's not a dirty player per se, but there's no question that what he did last night, he meant to do it. You could see his face. He looked, but he was frustrated. And I don't know if you guys play sports, but you can get caught up in the moment. And I think that's what happened. He was getting frustrated because probably was getting fouled and not getting called, and they were holding him back. He wasn't as prolific as he was the previous game with 39 points, and so it was a warranted call. And I hope they don't suspend him for the next game. That's a possibility, but it's unlikely. I don't think they would hold out the team's best player, knowing how that could impact the game. But, it is a great series. Wemby's a great player. But, again, don't forget Anthony Edwards. He is playing hurt, but he is the one who kind of helped them get over the top. In fact, San Antonio almost won that game last night if Anthony Edwards hadn't really came out and start really hitting points in the fourth quarter. So that is an intriguing series, and hopefully we'll get 7 games out of that one.
This is a time where your stars have to show up. Anthony Edwards did a nice job last night. And, I watched the game, but when Wemby went out, what I started watching was the loss of his presence in the paint.
Absolutely.
So, not only does he block shots, but, people don't – if you ever watch, there's a bunch of times people don't take shots.
Yeah.
Because he's in the way.
I know.
And so I count that, too. And you would think in a close game, that would have made a difference last
Absolutely,
night. So,
absolutely.
Point paints don't come as easy when he's around. So that was a big loss for them on the defensive end.
Yeah, it made a big difference, major difference.
What about that? The Knicks, who struggles, I thought, in the first round, come back in this round and just demolish the Sixers. And swept them. And listen, and I like Philly. I am not a Philly fan. I like their team. I like Embiid and Paul George and Maxey's one of my favorite players. So I hated for them to go down in that manner.
I know.
But kudos to the Knicks for stepping up big and winning 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach. They had to get to the conference finals because they fired Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
And nothing less than the finals, because Mike Brown was on some shaky ground, I'm going to be honest with you. But he gets to the finals, and I think they match up well against both teams. And to me, I'm going to put them as the favorite to make it to the NBA Finals and then get swept by OKC. I just think they have more scores.
Wow. They're not going to get swept, man. Come on.
They have more scores than the Knicks and then Cleveland. But I don't want to – Cleveland, I take it back because Cleveland's got Donovan Mitchell, but we don't know what player is going to show up to assist him because James Harden is a shell of himself. But we got some interesting series left in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And like you say, Coach, Philly beat Boston. And, Coach, we grew up with the Philly-Boston playoff series since the early 80s. Yeah, going back to Dr. J. Moses and Parrish and Burt McHale. So Philly finally won one. And to lay this, Elton Brand, Duke alumnus, who's general manager, has got to go back to the drawing board. But overall, I think the games are interesting, and this is when the time that folks who don't generally watch the NBA, they tune in because it's playoff basketball. And so I love watching it.
Yeah, well, before I get back to Dr. Brown, so I did call Mayor Pro Tem, Derek Thompson. If you're listening, I'm talking about you. Because he was talking smack last week. Oh, Philly, we're going to win everything. We're going to win that. We're going to win hockey. And unfortunately, both teams got swept. You know what I mean? So that was – but, he did take me – I called him. He did call me back. And so just before the show began, he called me back. He said, nah, man. He said, well, look, at least we made it there. So we won't sit in home. We made it to the playoffs. And so I guess that's a good concession if you want to look at it like that.
Listen, New York is playing great right now, okay? There's no question. They're making records. New York is a historic team, and they're winning by margins that New York has never won by before, 3-point records. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think they are playing really, really well. But now, if they run into Detroit has had their number for the last 2 years. And so, again, I don't know what that would look like, but they are looking good. They look like they could go to the finals, and I doubt that they would get swept if they get to the finals with OKC. OKC is good, and again, that's not even a given that they will get to the finals either. Listen, the game is won on the court, man, not just on paper. So we'll have to see.
Listen, so this, again, we talked earlier about how injuries impact winning. So I picked the Celtics out of the East because I thought with Tatum back, they would be the team to beat in the East.
You're right.
Evidently, he wasn't ready, and they go down.
You're right. You're right.
And so, I look at OKC's roster. They play legitimately 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's almost unheard of at that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when you think somebody's in foul trouble, they don't have much of a drop off when they go to their bench.
You're right.
And they've got 10 people to choose from. So that's a fantastic luxury as a coach to be able to look down your bench.
You're right.
And say, hey, I got enough people, enough healthy bodies,
You're
and
right.
I'm deep enough to feel like we can win this whole thing.
You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, Pastor Brown. Whoever plays against OKC, they're swept in the East. That's not, hey, y'all pick up some donuts on me and coffee and bring them to the radio station because we don't gamble money. The height is going to be a problem for anybody playing OKC, and then the outside shoot and the defense. And the key thing is they have folks on the team who don't care about who gets the glory.
Right.
It's all about when you have that in the NBA, because that solves a bunch of problems. And I always quote Chuck Daly: superstars allow you to coach them in the NBA, and OKC players allow their coach to coach them. And they're winning the championship again this year. But, hey, Coach, before we head to the break, we'll come back. I'd like to talk about the lottery before we transition to the rest of the stuff.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Do we need
Sure,
to
okay,
go right now? Sure.
Yeah, well, we're going to go to a break again. The Lakers, I liked them when they were Showtime. Now they're no time.
Come on, man. Don't be so hard.
We're going to a break, and we'll be back for the Coach Brickey Sports Show. Coach Brickey, DL, Pastor Brown, Brother Troy. We'll be back.
Sunday, the U.S. Army announced the remains of one of the missing American soldiers in Morocco have been recovered. Recent rains have provided much-needed relief to North Carolina farmers. Hurricane season starts June 1st. North Carolina Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey says you need to make sure you have flood insurance. AAA projects 45 million Americans are planning to get away for the Memorial Day weekend. North Carolina set a new tourism record in 2025, according to Visit and See. A new survey finds businesses are scaling back their investment plans. State lawmakers are stepping into the controversy over the financial crisis in the city of Rocky Mount. Despite much higher gas prices, this year's forecast is slightly higher than last year's. Mike Rayleigh, NCI News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The city's development services team is conducting a review of its site plan and development permitting processes to improve clarity, coordination, and the customer experience. They are evaluating how development applications move through multiple departments and agencies, from initial project review through construction completion, identifying challenges and gathering stakeholder feedback to inform practical improvements. There are meetings today at noon or 6 p.m. Both meetings are virtual. Cumberland County says their Planning and Inspections Department has completed a draft of the Hope Mills Area Land Use Plan using ideas and feedback shared by residents throughout the planning process. They invite the community to review the draft and continue helping guide the future of the area. Check that out Thursday, May 14th, 4 until 7 p.m. at the Hope Mills Parks and Recreation Center. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
We'll track an increase in clouds from morning to afternoon and high temperatures across the board, making it into the 70s. Chances for showers are very limited as we head into the afternoon and evening. Temperatures will fall from north to south this afternoon. Overnight temperatures about 48 to 52 degrees. A nice cool start to the morning Tuesday. Decreasing clouds, and by the afternoon, it's mostly sunny, less humid, highs low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
If you have been injured in a motor vehicle collision, you should understand that the insurance company is not on your side. It is the adjuster's job to get by with paying you as little as possible. Call personal injury trial lawyer Brent Adams now for a free no-obligation consultation. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
It's one of life's simplest comforts. Turning on the tap and knowing clean, safe water's there. A glass before bed, a warm shower in the morning, water to cook, clean, and care for loved ones. So often, it's something that can be taken for granted. But behind every drop is a commitment to quality, safety, and service. At Fayetteville PWC, providing award-winning water is more than a service. It is a responsibility and a point of pride. Delivering clean, reliable water remains a top priority for Fayetteville and surrounding communities every single day, because clean water supports healthy families, strengthens neighborhoods, and helps communities thrive today and for generations to come. Discover more about the difference quality water makes at faypwc.com. Fayetteville PWC, always there, always on, always built to serve.
Coach Brickey Sports Show, and then we're handing off to Coach Brickey.
So, DL, you wanted to talk draft? Anything in particular?
Well, the fact that the Hornets got number 14 and the NBA is looking into revamping how the lottery goes. So basically, folks who are out there,
tanking.
There are 6 amount teams. In the NFL, I'll put it to you like this. In the NFL, the worst team with the worst record gets the first pick of a college player. But the NBA, they have a lottery system. It started in 1985 when David Stern rigged it so the Knicks could get Patrick Ewing. So basically what's been happening now, teams have been resting players. Yeah, I'm joking. Teams have been resting players trying to get this. It's a good crop of players coming out, headed by Carlos Boozer, who I don't think will be the first pick, but he'll be in the top 3, but teams have been tanking, holding players out, healthy scratches. So the NBA is looking to change it because they don't want teams tanking. They want the product on the floor for the fans to see. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. But our Hornets got number 14 because they did make the play-in round. So I'm optimistic to see what they get at number 14. And Caleb Wilson from Carolina, he'll be in the top 5, as will Boozer, Darren Peterson out of Kansas, he'll be in the top 5, and then the young man from Utah, he'll be in the top 5. But I want one player they better not sleep on, and general managers have to be thinking, is Acuff out of Arkansas. He can put the ball in the hoop. So there's going to be some challenges on who's going to be the top 5, but I'm going to go with Acuff as the person that I'm interested to see where he falls.
Yeah, he is a tremendous player tonight. I think he got a lot of recognition down the stretch in the last part of the season because he played really well, and even in the tournament. And he's got an NBA game. He can create his own shot, and that's what separates guys at the NBA level. If you have the ability to create your own shot, everybody's looking for you. And then he can score, like they say, at 3 different levels. He can get to the basket. He can score in the mid-range. He can also shoot the 3. And he can handle the ball. I think he can play some point and move off the ball a little bit. So, very versatile guy. I think you're right. He's going to help somebody's team at the next level.
But we see that tanking was rewarded because, the Wizard was the worst team, and they got the lottery pick, and they did a lot of tanking. Utah Jazz did a lot of tanking, and they were the number 2 pick. So, but like you said, that's going to be revamped. So hopefully tanking and resting players won't be rewarded. Now, I didn't hear you mentioned the BYU player, that forward, the Bonsa. I mean, all the so-called experts saying he looked like he's going to be the number 1 draft pick. So, and, Darren Peterson from Kansas. And then, like you said, Cameron Booth will probably be number 3. And Caleb Williams from North Carolina is going to be in top 5. So they said this is one of the deepest draft class there is in the last several years. So, and any team in the top 10 should get some good players who could really be great for their team. Now, Indiana they had made a deal, and they didn't even get a first-round pick because Clippers got their first-round pick just because they missed the spot by 1. If they had gotten any of the top 5 picks, they would have retained their picks, but because he was outside of the top 5, they lost their number 1 pick to the Clippers. And so that's really going to hurt Indiana. But, we'll see what happens next year when they change the system and not reward tanking teams. So that's what's up with that.
It'll be interesting to see what they propose to try to curve tanking.
Right.
Because, one, it's the first time it's happened. So some people are going to like it, some people are not. So it's going to face some criticism. But, this is a problem that's been going on for a while. So
a long time,
what's the commissioner's name? It's not David Stern. It's Adam Silver.
Silver.
Silver is, I think he's done a good job during his tenure as commissioner. But I think this will be a challenge.
I miss David Stern because he was stern. I like the dress policy he imposed, and he didn't play around. See, Pat Riley, that's what I like about Pat Riley, because I'm from a paramilitary background. So Pat Riley is one of those owners, he's not going to yield a lot of times to players' concerns. Now, he ain't won a title since LeBron left, but, these players let this guy talk them into taking that long break during the All-Star week. So he's not David Stern. He's doing a good job. They still afloat, but he's not David Stern, though.
Right.
Well, Coach, I have a question for you. So is the NBA like the NFL? Like, you could be a Dallas Cowboy and never win anything and still make a lot of money? Are those teams like that?
No. When you don't win in the NBA, you suffer.
Okay, that's different.
Nobody. You don't have American team.
Okay.
And
and
so
South America,
people don't go to games.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If you Google Jay Williams talking about Michael Jordan criticism as a general manager, well, some of these teams are in a little in the red, Troy, because you paying for those charter flights, you paying for hotels, food, and trainers. And Jordan made some money off the Hornets. They ain't won a title, but you got to. It depends on the franchise because a number of teams have never won it, like the Utah. Some of these older franchises, some of these owners are trying to get that first title, but it's hard because back in the day, if you think about it, the teams that win the most in the NBA is usually they're on the West Coast or in the East. Boston. Prior to the 80s, it was just Boston and L.A. back and forth. It was to me, it wasn't exciting because it was always them. So once you get a good core of players, you better run because your fortunes can change. Now, with OKC, the only reason OKC won is because the Clippers allowed a player to tell them to go out and get another player, and then they got SGA out of the trade. So that catapulted OKC to a title real fast because they got SGA from the Clippers for Paul George. And guess what else? The Clippers have to give OKC their pick this year. So OKC is looking good.
They got a whole lot of draft picks in the bank, man. So, yeah, they look good for a long time.
Listen, they've got the most complete roster I've seen in a long time. And they've got draft picks. And they're either the youngest or the second youngest team in the league.
Right.
So they are sitting in a great position right now. They already won a title. Odds-on favorite to win it again. Young enough to win another one next year.
Can anybody say dynasty?
Yeah, listen. I watch a lot of basketball, and one of the things I look for is, do they like each other? Do they
they do.
like
They're genuine.
great chemistry?
Yeah.
And so they hold each other accountable. Listen, I think they all understand the position that they're in and the opportunity that they have. Like you say, to be a dynasty. Because you think about this, everybody wants to win title. But when you start talking about dynasty, how often can you have that conversation?
Yeah. Now, the Lakers might be an exception to that rule in terms of making money and not winning, right? Because they're in L.A., right? And so Showtime. Right. And so they can make money and probably do make money, even their team is not winning because they got all that Showtime stuff.
I think it's a little sacrilegious for you to be using the terminology Showtime at this juncture. About what was real versus what is.
But sometimes they ride on the coattail of what was. Sometimes
ain't no Showtime out there, man. The only Showtime. If you want Showtime, you need to go over to Hollywood.
Well, as far as the Lakers, I don't know about football, but I know baseball. The reason why the Dodgers and the Yankees can exceed payroll is because they have those local television rights.
Yeah.
And
Showtime.
They can just and then they can exceed the salary cap and pay a luxury tax, and that's why George Steinbrenner would fire when he was the Yankees owner. He would fire managers left and right because he had the biggest payroll and he wanted to win. And for the longest, the Yankees couldn't win with the biggest payroll. So I don't know like how it is in basketball. Football, you don't do that. That's why Jerry Jones of the Cowboys wanted to sue the NFL so many times, because with Dallas being America's team, they're going to garner that's why they're on TV. The schedule releases Thursday. Dallas will have more primetime games than the Super Bowl winner because that's what America and that's what those folks at Fox and all these people, these Netflix want to see. So that, you got that brand.
Media influence, from what I'm told, Charles Barkley said, when you behind the mic, they want you to pump up the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, so it's a conspiracy, sir.
And the L.A. Lakers, that's the same thing. Yeah.
It's a conspiracy. I agree with Charles.
Well, Charles, I'll disagree with him on that. When those executives, listen, these executives go in there from Fox. Got to realize the NFL, in this year, you got And that's why Congress is involved when it comes to certain NFL.
Yeah.
You got to have 10 different platforms to watch a football game.
Oh, I'm saying, look.
But you know who?
$1,500.
Well, I tell you, because I think in the NFL, a player is vested after his fourth season. So these players like the Warren Saps that have these injuries, they get money every month from the NFL. So they're going to keep it chugging away, is getting as much money as they want because they have to pay for some of these injuries that these players occur.
Yeah, they, it's interesting how that whole pension thing is set up. We need to talk about that on one show. So before we get to the end of the show, I want to get everybody's revamped predictions about that. I think everybody's kind of in consensus for who's going to win the NBA title. Who's going to come out of the East?
Knicks.
I think New York, the way they're playing right now, unless they run into Detroit, because again, like I said, Detroit has had their number for the last 2 years, and so, but Knicks is looking really, really good right now, I think.
Well,
yeah, I think the Knicks are a little deeper, a deeper team. I think that's where they had the advantage. When you look at Detroit, I think Detroit's a player short.
Yeah, they are.
So they have to play at their maximum every game to win in the playoffs.
You're right. You're right about that.
And they don't have that third wheel to give them relief.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's going to be emotional for me, so I'm going to pull for the Knicks because they got so much else that's going wrong with New York these days. They need to win something.
They're looking good right now.
Madison Square Garden.
Yes, sir. And in the West, I guess, we think OKC. They looking good.
Yeah, OKC is deep, and they got I just don't see anybody in the West that can dethrone them.
Again, based on the history where San Antonio won 3 out of 4 this year against them, I'd love to see both of them go against each other with full strength and no injuries and see what happens. We'll see what happens. But again, OKC look very, very promising to repeat.
Yeah, so I think during the regular season, they OKC and San Antonio met 5 times, and San Antonio won 4 of them.
Yeah.
And so that gives you reason to pause right there. Like,
sure,
maybe it's a matchup thing because sometimes you just don't match up well against the team.
Right.
And maybe that's the case here. So, hey, trust me, I would like to see. I really don't care, but I would like to see Wemby win a title. I really like that young man. I think he's if not already, he will be the face of the league, and I think he'll represent well.
Yeah, he'll win something.
Coach,
he'll win something.
I can't root for the Spurs because they tanked to get Tim Duncan in '97, and then Wemby should have went to the Hornets a couple years ago. We got Brandon Miller. He's good. Hey, I like what they got, but the Hornets should have been able to get Wemby. We were the worst team that year.
Wow.
And, at some point, we traded away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Think about that.
Can you imagine? Oh, crazy,
Tell
man.
me they so. Oh, that hurt.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, he was originally in Charlotte, and then he ended up going out west, and then he get shipped again to OKC. But he made the most of it.
Yeah. And listen, surprisingly, he's a Canadian, and I wonder when his contract is up and he can get out of town, will he stay? He doesn't look like he wants a different media market, because Oklahoma City is out in the middle of the West. So that'll be interesting to see how long they stay out there. That core stays together.
Man,
you think about this. He owns that town.
I was about to say he's not going anywhere. He's king. He's king out there now. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. Look, if you have to move, you'll be welcome in the city. But can you own New York? Can you own Chicago? Can you own Miami. I mean, you know, I think there's some value to
Small time.
understanding your worth in a situation.
Yeah.
And I think he understands his value there.
Yeah, you got a point there. I don't know, but well, is the viewership still down when it comes to the NBA? That's a question.
You mean during the playoffs?
Just in general.
I think it is because you got to think about the next generation. They have options on things to do.
Yeah.
And we grew up around athletics, watching athletics, blah blah blah. Mainly because that's the only thing we had to do.
Yeah, got a point.
We didn't have all the options that young people have now. And I'll give you an example. So I lived in New York. Nobody talked about college sports. Everybody talked about the Yankees, the Mets, the Knicks, whatever, the hockey team. They talked about New York professional sports. Right. That's what they, these people have different, you can focus on different things. And I think people's attention span has a lot of different options right now.
Good point. But
and Troy, to answer your point, your question, the NBA viewership is down about 2% this year.
Wow. But the NFL, it ain't going down. That's up. Why is that?
I think, just my own personal opinion, football is more about gathering, and you only have one game a week. Basketball, you got 82 games.
Yeah, it's a long season, man.
17. And usually your football is built around your friends, getting together, watch games with people. It's a lot of back and forth with football because you have all week to talk about, prepare, get ready for a game. Whereas the NBA, you might have back-to-back games.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different approach to how you view those sports.
Good point.
In the NFL is key is because they don't have guaranteed contracts. I was telling you the other day, Troy, those players bring it every day. Coach ain't gonna put up that attitude. You can take that signing bonus. You can go somewhere else. So that's what makes the NFL so much better. Players, you're not coming out of high school. You're not coming out your first or second year of college. Once you finish your third year of eligibility, you can come back because your body is ready for the rigors of the NFL. And it's just like Coach says, man. In Buffalo, they jump off tables. Down here in North Carolina, in Huntersville, it's a little shop. They sell memorabilia, college and pro. And I was in there buying some Steelers stuff, and something I don't need anymore because I got too much of that stuff. And the lady said, y'all used to be my number one seller. And I said, well, probably because Mike Tomlin ain't won playoff games while we dropped. I said, well, who's your number one team right now? She said in this order, Buffalo, Philadelphia, this was last summer, Buffalo, Philadelphia, and then Green Bay. Because a lot of them have come down here and they stay in the Charlotte area. Buffalo has a big following down here, a large following.
Oh, wow. That's surprising to me.
Well, Troy, here's an interesting stat for you. The NFL viewership from between the 2025 season and the 2026 season was up 10%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow, 10%.
Not surprised. I mean, but look, I hear a lot of females talking about their favorite football team. I don't hear a lot of females hardly ever talking about any basketball team being their favorite team.
Yeah.
Think about this. Think about this. It's social. I mean, not to say women don't like football, but I think a lot of people just like the fact that we can gather. In Charlotte, there's always gatherings about when the Panthers play, and people get together and fellowship and cook out and whatever. So
tailgating and all that.
I think the social aspect factors in, not just on the ladies' side, on the men's side too.
Hey, Troy, I was in it's a Walmart off Wilkinson Boulevard, Charlotte, near going to the airport, and I was going to the Steelers and Cowboys game last year when we lost again. So that Friday prior to going, so I was in Walmart getting some toiletry items to travel, and the two sisters walk up to me. I had my Steelers shirt on, and they were Cowboy fans. And I ain't bothering nobody in a hurry. All of them talking smack. I'm like, good Lord, the game ain't started yet, lady. I'm like, come on. I'm like, hey, you know, these Cowboy fans now. I got some cousins that are first cousin females, diehard Cowboy fans,
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
saying.
bring it, you know. So
I think more women are Cowboy fans than any other team. It seems like to me. That's all I run into. Cowboys. Oh, Lord. But, I mean, you know, I find that interesting because they just love the Cowboys.
Right.
And some of them are under 30, so they've never seen them win anything. So, you know.
They love the idea of the Cowboys, right?
Evidently.
How about them Hurricanes, Carolina Hurricanes?
Yeah,
8-0.
man, talk about that.
Man, you know, I guess that's a sport that gets ignored in the state. You know, sometimes we forget we have a professional NHL hockey team in Carolina. But, you know, I've been a couple times. You know, I guess I'm going to learn the rules one day so I understand it a little better. But it's a fun and exciting atmosphere. If you've never been, it is fun to watch. It's faster than you think it is. It's more physical. It's violent than you think it is.
Yeah.
It's a really good experience. But anyway, congratulations to the Hurricanes for sweeping. What's the New York team?
Islanders.
Who did they sweep? Is that who it is? What team is that? What state is that?
I don't know, but right.
Yeah, listen, again, nobody pays attention.
And I don't. I mean, if I happen to be, if I flip past the news or local news, they bring it up, but it's not something I'm going to go out and look for to watch.
I'm not a big hockey fan either. You know, when they get to the finals, you know, I might watch part of it, but not a big hockey fan. Just because Carolina I follow.
Nah.
Yeah. So.
yeah, so I don't follow it neither, but I thank them for their partnership with NC State, helping them get that arena built and keeping the color scheme red and white. So,
Right.
yeah.
But that was smart. We need to talk to some other folk about those kind of partnerships.
Yeah, well, you know, hey, you know, you always, that was a good, you know, that owner, Hartford Whalers, when he came down, their team colors were like gray, blue, and resembled a whale in the ocean, and they got that deal done. The state created a Centennial Authority to get that done. So kudos to NC State, and but hey, one last thing before we leave: if you never watched girls college softball, you don't know what you're missing out on. I love that fact. I love their enthusiasm. Girls college softball. Season's going to the World Series, but put that on your thing to do next year.
I've seen some of those games, man. Some of those women look like that they could be playing in the major leagues, man. I mean, they're healthy, man.
And
Good
the
grief.
pitching is something else. I mean,
serious.
they coming at you hard, boy. So it is. I watch it from time to time. So it is a fun game to watch.
Coaches, last
You know what I like
seconds on
about
you.
it, you know what I like about the ladies softball? They are competitive.
Yeah,
man. Let me tell you, like just the intensity that they play with an intensity I don't see. Maybe I just don't see it, but it seems like they're more intense about the game than men are about baseball. So the ladies, they mean business when they come to play.
Right. But look at guys, we got to get out of here. Again, our most able producer there, the Dallas Cowboys' #1 fan in Fayetteville. Is this year. He said this year. They're going to win it all this year. Whatever all means. But anyway, that is the Reverend Carl Brickey. Anyway, thank you for producing for us this morning. Enjoyed you guys. For the rest of you all, have a great day on today.
station for inspiration and information. 1600 AM, 99.7 FM, WIDU1600.com. We are WIDU Fayetteville. We do radio. Follow us on Facebook at WIDU 1600 AM.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. On Sunday, the U.S. Army announced the remains of one of the missing American soldiers in Morocco have been recovered. CBS's Jerika Duncan has that.
Is identified.